Brian, and this is how you make quick redneck pizza. First of all, you want to wash your hands. Disgusting people. You need to wash your hands with some soap, maybe some dish soap, whatever kind of soap you got. Okay, for your ingredients, first of all you want to start out with 2 cans of whole peeled tomatoes. And 28-ounce can, somewhere in there. It ain't gonna be exact. You want 2 cans of whole peeled tomatoes. You want 1 onion, 1 green pepper, and 1 garlic clove. For your flour, you need just regular all-purpose flour is fine. You want to get a regular, normal 5-pound bag or something similar to that. Some yeast. If you're doing it fast, you'll want to get this instant yeast. Some people don't like to use that, but we're going to use it anyway because we're rednecks. You also need we're going to take some basil and oregano. We'll use those in the recipe also. You want to open up your 2 cans of the peeled tomatoes. You want to take your tomatoes that you just opened, you want to dump all the juice out. If you want to, dump it in a cup. You can drink it. It's good tomato juice. You could drink it if you wanted to. Waste not, want not, they say. Okay, then you gotta have a blender. What you want to do is stick your 2 cans of your drained whole peeled tomatoes in the blender. Go ahead and blend it now. Whoops. I guess you gotta plug blenders in. That always helps. Okay, go ahead and blend your tomatoes. Take your 1 onion. Okay, you want to take your 1 onion, do it just like you'd be cutting it up for hot dogs or something like that. Just cut it into smaller pieces. Without cutting yourself. You take responsibility for all injuries to yourself and others by using this recipe. Not responsible for any injuries, sicknesses, deaths, all that stuff. You take all that responsibility on yourself. Not responsible for lost limbs, chopped up fingers, or any other body functions that you have. Okay, then you want to take all your onions, put it in the blender with your already blended tomatoes. go ahead and run your blender with the lid on. Okay, then you want to take 1 green bell pepper. Make sure you wash it. A lot of people don't wash it. You know, they use insecticides and all kinds of other crazy things. They put wax on your pepper to make it look good, even if it ain't. Make sure you wash it good. And the way I do it, this is much easier. Just cut the end. Cut the end off. And on this side, you can kind of just work around there without cutting yourself, without cutting others. Then you can just pop, most of it will come out right there. But for instructional purposes, we'll just get all this stuff out of here. Kind of tap on this will get most of your seeds out of there. And just rinse it under the sink again and get the remaining stuff out of there. Okay, take your green pepper and you want to cut it into strips. And after you cut it into strips, cut the strips into smaller pieces, at least 4 different pieces per strip. Then go ahead and put your green peppers in your pre-mixed, pre-blended tomato stuff. Go ahead and run your blender. May take a while to get it all ground up good. And then you want 1 garlic clove, fresh clove. We want to get rid of this nasty stuff that's on there, just like where the roots are. But you want to carefully get that cut apart. And you want to peel your clove. Get some of this nasty skin stuff off of it. That way you're just left with the little pieces of the clove. And once you get the what appears to be loose on there, just go ahead and throw your little pieces of the clove in to your mixture.
Come on.
Okay, and then go ahead and run your blender again. May take a while. Okay, then you want to take some basil and oregano, and you want to put at least a teaspoon of each in there. You can add more if you want to, but at least a teaspoon of each of basil leaves and oregano leaves. Put it in your blender and go ahead and blend it up one more time. Okay, then you want to go ahead and dump your sauce into a pan. Make sure your pan's big enough to hold your sauce. And it's a good idea to rinse your blender out now. Then you want 1/3 of a cup of canola oil. You can use other oils if you prefer, but I like canola oil. You want 1/3 of a cup. Dump it in there. You can go ahead and turn your burner on. Make sure it's the right burner and don't burn yourself. You're responsible for all burns, electric shocks, or any other injuries. You want to turn it to where it'll heat up pretty fast, and then we'll turn it down to a simmer. You want to occasionally stir it, but the first initial stirring is probably a very good idea. Once you get this heated up and you turn it down to where it'll simmer pretty decently, you want to cook it for about an hour minimum. You can cook it up to 4 hours if you really want to, but that wouldn't be quick redneck pizza. That would be a slower recipe. So you don't want to, maybe about an hour, and this should be good enough to be sauce. So 1 hour. Okay, then you need all-purpose flour. Any kind is fine. You can use generics, it's fine. This is one way you can do it without a mess, is just use a spoon and get it out of there. That one I still made a mess, so I guess you can't win. There's 2 cups. Stir it with your fork really good. You see your sauce is simmering here. We had to turn it down, the burner down to about that position. And let's let it slowly simmer here let it simmer for 1 hour. Once you've mixed it up as good as you can with the fork, make sure your hands will wash. Finish mixing it with your hands. You want to work it all in good. So this don't turn out to a disaster, you can spray your pan if you like. Especially if you have an older pan like this one. Just let your dough sit here for about 10 or 15 minutes. Okay, we'll want to preheat the oven to 450 degrees. Sauce is still simmering. And you stir it occasionally. You want to take your dough and kind of work it on the pan. You want to fill the whole pan with flour, with your dough. Kind of work it out. If you like big crust, you can form the ends to have crust, but myself, I'm not really a big crust kind of person. I would rather have just all pizza. But some people like crust because they call it a handle, so they can hold your slice of pizza. Okay, you cooked your pizza dough at 450 for 25 minutes exactly. Now you want to take your sauce. You want to put sauce all over your whole pizza. You're probably not going to use all your sauce, but you can freeze it and save it for later. That way you can skip a step next time. You can put it on as thick as you want. It's up to you. I mean, however you like it. You like a lot of sauce. You like just a little bit. You know, you base it on your, your likes. Next thing you want is you want some good pepperonis. Don't just get cheap ones, get good ones. You don't want to put all of them on, you just want to put some on here. And the reason why we're doing this is to add flavor to the pizza. So you're going to put on about 20 pieces of pepperoni scattered out here, rows of 4. Stick it back in the oven for exactly 5 minutes, not a minute longer. Do not put cheese on it yet. Okay, then you want to take, let's see here, what do we got? 16 ounces of cheese, any of your choice. I like the mixture of provolone, mozzarella, stuff like that. You can use whatever you want. You want 16 ounces. Throw it all over your pizza. Then finally put your remainder of your pepperonis on there. After you do that, just cut it up in square slices. Then you have some DiCarlos style pizza. Homemade, of course. Redneck style. Cut and serve.